Hello, welcome to this December 2023 Freedom Friday. I'm excited because this is the last Freedom Friday of 2023. So I want to welcome you guys in. I want to make sure this, as always, that I am streaming live. Let's hopefully this show up. It's showing up now. Okay, good. But this particular Freedom Friday, as always, I like to end the year with something to really make you think about where you're going and what you're doing going forward. So I want to really talk about tonight, freedom. This is Freedom Friday. If you guys know me, you've listened to my Freedom Fridays in the past. I'm all about being free mentally, especially is what I'm speaking of. So this I have some real great nuggets I want to share with you, thought provoking to really make you really think about some things. Oh, and by the way, most of you know me. I didn't introduce myself. I am Coach Sarita Price. I am the one who is skilling you softly to live and lead with confidence and boldness because that's what everything I do, it's all about that. It's really helping you put material in different webinars and just chats, like we're doing tonight, just to really use soft skills, methods, and practices to really help you become be the you that you are supposed to be, that who God designed you to be. So, so this is as we continue on, I'll be doing this to 2024, 2025. This is just what I do and who I am. And I'll share some more information with you at the end, just in case you this may be the first Freedom Friday Live that you actually attended. So I want to make sure that you have information. Listen, I am so excited about tonight, of course, what I'm going to share, but I'm really excited about 2024 because now I'll share that with you after I finish, after I complete here what we're talking about. So let's go ahead and get started. So tonight we're talking about freedom, and freedom is a process. You a lot of people you hear like, I'm free, I'm free. There's, even old spiritual songs. One of my favorites is called I'm Free. I'm free. Praise the Lord, I'm free. Um, but freedom is a wonderful feeling, but freedom ain't free. So, and I'll go ahead and move to the next slide here so you can see freedom is not free. So I just kind of want to kind of give you some points here. Um, how am I advancing this here? Hold on. Where is that? Okay. I thought I can advance it here. So I'm gonna have to pull this up. All right, give me a minute here to pull this up. All right, so I can actually see it. All right. So really and truly, freedom ain't free. And you're like, well, what do you mean by that? When you're talking about really being free, there's always a cost, whether it's in your life, what you're doing, whether it's in your career, just entrepreneurship, whatever area of life, freedom is not free. There's always a cost. Um, there's always a sacrifice to freedom. Even just my personal story, I had to make some sacrifices, in my career, in my personal life, raising my daughter. I had to make some choices because I chose this path. And, it's not free. And I'm gonna put some music on because I don't know if my grandbaby's in the back. She might sound like she might be having having a moment, but I made some sacrifices when I decided to leave corporate America. Even before then, when I started teaching, when my daughter was in college, was in high school, and but I knew the path that I was on. I knew the sacrifices that I was going to make, and which leads me to the next point. The freedom process is a lonely road. I mean, sometimes, especially depending on, I chose the road of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. I always say that it's not for everyone. And there was some sacrifices I have to make. People who, are not entrepreneurs, they didn't really understand exactly what I was doing and the sacrifices I had to make. I've been told, but just go back and get a regular 9 to 5. I mean, that wasn't my choice because, that wasn't the path that I was on. Now, at one point, did I have to? Of course. But sometimes, when you are on a path, whatever your freedom path is, you have to connect, with like-minded people to remind you that no, this is not easy. It can be a lonely road, but you're not alone. You're not always alone. I have other friends, my best friends who are entrepreneurs. They understood exactly what I was doing and why I was doing what I was doing. So, it can be a lonely road sometimes. But what I found along the way, along this journey, is God always sends me like minded people that understand exactly where I'm going and the direction. And, so it's that mindset, which I talked about. I'm going to talk about a little bit more about having a certain mindset for this path of freedom. It's not easy. Okay. So you must move with confidence and boldness. If you're on this, want to seek this path, you got to move with confidence. You have to have boldness. I'll be honest, I've been doing this now part time since 2015, but full time since 2020, since the pandemic. And I didn't always have the confidence and boldness. If I can just be very transparent, um, I really only obtained that confidence and boldness really and truly in 2022. If I just really want to be authentic about it. So you got to move in confidence, in boldness. You have to believe that, the mindset, you cannot let yourself be discouraged. And you have to know that if this is something that you were given, whatever it is, um, it requires you have to have a different mindset, a free mindset. You don't think the same thoughts. You don't do the same things that you used to do. Um, and it's sometime, which brings me to my next point. It's not sometimes, most of the times, you can't continue in the same toxic environments that you're in, including work. I mean, there was the last job, really 9 to 5 that I had was in 2020, right before the pandemic. Some of you may have heard my story. I mean, it was toxic to the point it was really affecting my health. I didn't realize that, um, my blood pressure got to a level that my doctor actually took me off work. And I was having some issues with being attacked, and um as far as you know I guess what I was doing, it was a threat to the particular person's supervisor. But it wasn't a good environment anyway. It was a very toxic environment. So if you want to truly seek your freedom in every area of your life, you can't function continue in a toxic environment. I don't care what it is. It's just not going to work. So, I'm not saying quit your job. But what I am saying is once you have really determined that, this is affecting you and you can no longer stay in this environment, you got to make a choice, period. You have to make a choice of exactly, what are your next moves. Start looking for another job. If that's the case, if you want to go into entrepreneurship, there's a process. I actually conducted a webinar back in at the end of October on how to transition from an employee to an entrepreneur. I had a lot of people, some people signed up for it. It was on demand webinar, and at that time, it was for limited time. It was free. Now I'm saying now it's going to be on demand. It's not going to be free. So hint, hint. When I actually have webinars and you interested in it, I suggest it's free. That's a one-time deal. You need to take advantage of it. But it will be available on demand. It's a great webinar. I'm telling you, I give you a lot of key tips from my experience on how to transition from an employee to an employer. I'm sorry, from an employee to an entrepreneur. So, you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan to exit those toxic environments that you're in, whether it's work or it can be even relationships. If you're in a toxic relationship, you can, I've been there. You can actually, um, you got to have an extra strategy for that as well if you want to truly be free and to grow and to move forward. Okay. All right. The next point. Now, this is one that it's not easy, but it's just part of the process. You're going to lose those fake friends and even fake family members when you choose to shift and make that move to free yourself, because many times people are not going to understand what you're going through and exactly the process that you're going through. They're going to be naysayers. They're going to be people that really don't understand. They say they're with you, but not really. You're going to have to deal with some things that it's going to be painful. I'm not going to say it will be. This is just from my experience and from friends that I have that have decided to go on that road to be free, right? So that's just part of the process. It didn't feel good at all, I'm telling you, but you know, um that's just part of the process of obtaining your freedom. And then real freedom requires taking risks. This is one of those things that, especially when you're talking about entrepreneurship or what have you, some people don't like to take risks. I'm telling you, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you want to be free of the toxic environments, of the toxic relationships, or what have you, or, you're going to have to take some risks. I'm still taking risks, but that's part of the process. But if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is what you're supposed to be, that you are tired, like I said, being sick and tired, you're tired of the status quo, you're tired of all these things, you want to be free in your career, you want to be free in your relationships, you just want to be free in every area of your life. It requires taking risks. Yeah. So, real freedom will bring on haters and demonic attacks. I kind of mentioned that before as well. Um, it doesn't feel good, but I always look at people like Oprah Winfrey and Bishop T.D. Jakes and even Steve Harvey. You see how a lot of things people see, how they are attacked constantly about people just don't like you because they don't like you. I've experienced it. I'm definitely not on that level yet, but I have seen and I've experienced people just not liking you for no reason. You can go to I've been in jobs where I've started working for companies in my career, and that's just my personality. I'm smiling, I'm introducing myself, and people don't like you because of your light. And it's okay. I've learned to be okay with that. And I know I'm not alone in this process. So, you know, it's just part of the process. It's just going to happen. Um, you have to, it's like I said, doesn't feel good. You got to get out of your feelings because it's just how it is. It is what it is. And you have to keep it moving to move forward to fulfill your assignment, whatever you are given to do. Okay. All right. You got to stop depending on the government and depend on God. Now, what do I mean by this? This may not apply to everybody, but this is a very transparent moment for me. So, um, sometime there's been a time in my life, even recently, that, um, you know, I had to acquire some services to help sustain, myself and while back, and me and my daughter. And it's a hand up, not a handout. And like I said, I'm not trying to offend anybody. Believe me, I've been in it. I still have things that remind me of where I came from. But it's just not only just that. You can't depend on the government. You got to depend on God. God is your source. No government, no job, he is your source. It's a mindset. So you have to remember this. You got to shift your mindset and, depend on God to help you, guide you in a direction that you are supposed to go to get to things that God wants you to prosper. He wants you to have wealth. You are designed in his image. You are made in God's image. He wants everything the best for you. If you are his and you have, you know, embraced all of God, he'll take care of you. He'll guide you and direct you on your steps in the path in which the path you're supposed to go. So you got to stop depending on the government. You got to stop depending on even jobs. Sometimes we get so caught up in jobs, and true enough, people like, well, Sri, that's kind of, how are you saying that you got to make a living? I understand that, but sometimes, let me just put it in this perspective. I know people that are in jobs, they're making real good money. I mean, well over figures. They've actually obtained this certain lifestyle, but they're miserable. They are absolutely freaking miserable. But because of the lifestyle that they have to continue on the path of working that job if they want to maintain that lifestyle. To me, that is called being a prisoner to a job. It really is. So, goes back to the other, some of the other steps about you have to take risks. You have to, make a plan, an exit plan, and decide, I always say my famous motto for people know me, a piece of mind is better than a piece of money. But what I'm learning along the way, when I depend on God and I am working my assignment and doing what I'm supposed to do, it never fails. He always come through. Always. Okay. All right. My business is defiant. My business is against poverty. What I mean by that is, um for me, the freedom process is, what I do as an overall whole as for my business. Um, I am equipped. This is my assignment, is to help you shift your mindset to get out of poverty and to defy the status quo. And I probably should have put that on there to make it more, to defy the status quo. That is what I do, um, to help my clients, to help you. That's why I'm always putting something out, or how to webinar, or what is the process, because I want to see you win. I want to help you get out of this. I want to help people get out of poverty. I want to help people get out of Section 8. That is one of my main goals, is to help you, because everything you need is inside of you. People don't understand that. Many of the webinars, classes, and I got something coming up in January that I'm so excited. It's next. I'll tell you about that. But I want to help you shift your mindset, because we are some of the most brightest people, many of people in general. We have so much inside of us that we have yet to tap into, because we have been hoodwinked, bamboozled by society telling us what we can and cannot do because of our social status, because of our race, religion, what have you. And that is not true. And it's caused a lot of people to have a poverty mindset. Okay. I guess you can say I'm an authentic freedom. Authentic freedom is disruptive. Now, why you say that? Um, it is disruptive. If you are truly free, you're going to disrupt some people. You're going to rub people wrong, sometimes rub people the wrong way, because you're not depending on certain um, systems, like I was talking about the government, or certain people to know, to continue to define who you are, right? So authentic freedom is disruptive. It's uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. So just remember that, and I'm putting these points out here and talking about the process. But some people, I know people choose to just stay comfortable, to stay bound, and they don't really walk in their total fulfillment of what they were designed to do and to be, because of fear. Yeah. So freedom is very disruptive. I also put on here, get back to your roots, your origin, who you really be. I know that may not be correct English, but who are you? Freedom, being really free, you will have to go through the process of seeking who you really are. Because once you know who you really are, that's the first step of being free. Once I found out what was in me, who I really was, or who I really am, I am so free. That's why it's difficult for me to go back and work in certain organizations. I'm not going to say all organizations, but to work in certain organizations because of the politics, the lack of freedom. You have to depend on somebody else as far as what you can and cannot say, can and cannot do. Um, but you need to get back to really focus on who you really are. Being self-aware, which is one of the five components of emotional intelligence. I'm always talking about self-awareness. That's one of the biggest things. Who are you? Do you know your strengths? Do you know your weaknesses? Who are you really? So, you really have to determine um, who you really are. It's nothing wrong to going back and spending some time. I would say during the holiday, spend some time and really get to know yourself. Sometimes I think sometimes we are afraid to know who we really are. So, get back to knowing yourself, who you are as an individual. When you find out who you really are, you've conquered the majority of um the freedom process. That's the first thing. Okay. All right. Next point, and the last point. Real freedom won't allow you to straddle the fence. So what do I mean by that? Once you are really free in general, you won't straddle the fence. You'll know exactly your mindset. First of all, the major thing is, once you're really free, you'll have a mindset shift. I don't think like I used to think. I'm more open and think. I'm not on that path. I just have a tunnel vision. You have to look at things and put things in perspective. when you're talking about being really free in your mind. Um, so that is very important to know. I guess you can say you can't be hot or you can't be lukewarm. You have to really know where you're going, and have a strategy put in place. And if you are on the path and you really don't know, I'm giving you this information, and if you really don't know how you're going to get there, that is what I'm here for. This is what I do. I love what I do. I love helping you on that um on that journey of being truly free, finding out who you are, and to really live that life to be, full of joy and have a peace of mind. Because I'm telling you right now, sometimes I was like, I'm always saying this, but I have to remember, um, and I continue to say it. This is just my story. There is nothing like living a life in ease and flow, having joy and peace of mind. That is freedom. Oh my God. This, I'm actually living my best life. This is just the beginning at the age of 53, because I found out, I broke out of the shell. I found out, how to have that mindset of what to do, and how to get there. And what I do is help you um, reach that goal as well, on how to get there. So, like I said, I just wanted to kind of come here and talk to you, give you some tips. I got some things coming up. I am so excited um, for 2024. So let me go ahead and share that with you now, so I can um, go back up here so I can click. All right. So drum roll, please. Some of you may have, and I'm actually, the official launch is going to be in on Sunday, January 27th, 2024. Mark your calendars. This is a symposium called Life After 50: How to Reinvent Yourself. Everything that I just talked about, the freedom process, this is what I've been going through, oh God, for the last 10 plus years, probably last 15 years or so. It's a process, but what I learned, especially in the pandemic, and let me tell you the reason why I actually developed this symposium. What I'm noticing is people 50 and over. In your 40s, you pretty much, you have some things you're shifting, but when you get 50, you kind of like, what's next? You know, am I going to sit in a rocking chair? Is my life over? No, it's not. Believe me, take it from me. I travel this path. So I'm so excited about this. It's an in-person event. It's called Life After 50: How to Reinvent Yourself, January 27th. It's going to be 10 a.m. It's on a Saturday. Venue was to be determined, but the registration will be available this coming Sunday. I'm going to send a social media blast, email blast. You'll be able to register for it. It is an event. It's not a free event. There's an investment for the event. And I have all the information. We're going to have a dynamic speaker. I am so freaking excited because she is from Washington, from DC. Phenomenal woman is going to be our my speaker. We're going to have a panel discussion. I'm going to have professional women from, professional actress to entrepreneurship, even to women who in their 50s are totally reinventing themselves. So it's going to be, I mean, this event is going to be phenomenal. So stay tuned for, like I said, for social media blasts, your email, you can register. I'm going to actually have some, who knows where you might hear about this event as well. So there's a lot of great things that are coming in 2024, but this is my first in live person event. It's going to be huge. I started off, very small, but it quickly, as I talked about it more and told women 50 plus more, they were so excited. So stay tuned. I'm excited, but I'm nervous at the same time, but I'm really, really excited because I can't wait for you to be a part of this amazing, life-changing event. Okay? All right. Okay. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, as always, this is how to reach me. Let's stay in touch. This is my email address, my website, as well as my mailing address. All social media platforms, you can find me on there as well. And yeah, make sure you stay tuned for Sunday. I'm just going to say December the 3rd, Sunday is when you'll get the information. And once you'll see who the speaker will be for the symposium, you're going to rush and get your tickets. And here's the thing, this would make a great Christmas gift. So you're going to start off 2020. I'm starting 2024 with a bang with the symposium. So ladies, I'm telling you. Oh, this is another thing I want to say for the gentlemen. I've had some men. This is for, I've had men to inquire. I've even had not baby boomers, but millennials like, well, I'm not 50. What can I come? Sure. I mean, you have some Gen Xers are in their 40s. This is, I mean, anyone can come. So, it's not, but this is designed for those 50 plus. But the information that you're going to receive, you're going to be, let me just go back. Let me just go back and put this up here. I'm so excited. The information that you're going to receive is going to be life changing. And that's the purpose of it. This event is going to be life changing. Okay. All right. So thank you guys for listening. Always for Freedom Friday, December edition. I'm always this is going to continue for 2024. So I want you to have an amazing holiday season. Send me an email if you got any questions, anything. Just stay tuned for everything. And as always, I always say, protect your peace. So when needed, your peace can protect you. Have an amazing weekend. Bye-bye.